I mean,
It's
I,
so epic.
I feel so proud of that every time we play it because
Well done, sir.
I am not known as an editing guru in any way, shape, or form, but occasionally I get one or two things right. So it's nice to see that for our show. But welcome everybody to the John and Wendy show. Happy Friday. You made it. Congratulations. You made it to Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's take our shoes off. Let's pour ourselves a drink. Let's sit back on the couch and have a great show here, talking about all the big stuff that happened this week. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by the better half of this show, Wendy Lee Zaney. How are you, Wendy?
Hey, I'm good. I'm happy I made it to Friday as well. It's been a busy month so far. What
Crazy
the
to
heck,
say that, right?
right? I was expecting like, okay, I'm gonna sit tight until like March.
Until Ant-Man and the Wasp. But
Yeah.
now, which is February, but now everything's been happening. And it's a good thing, Wendy, because you're in demand now. You know, people want to work with you. People want to put you on shows. You're getting invited to be a part of things. So it's all positive stuff for you. So I think I speak for everybody who watches this show, saying we're all very happy to see the ascension of Wendy Lee Zaney and the
Thank
movie
you.
couple, of course.
Thank you. Yeah, hoping for, I was talking to a publicist yesterday,
Oh,
just a mutual, just a friend that
yep.
who happens to be a publicist, and just kind of talking about like how do we as content creators who don't belong to
The
one of the
outlet.
trades or one
Yeah.
of like an established outlet
Yeah.
or independent outlets, like how do we gain access? And it's nice to be reminded
Yeah.
and because he's like, you have more access than most people. And I was like, honestly, it's true, but it's just that mentality of like, how can I get more
Right.
access?
Right.
How
Right.
can I
Right.
cover all of these? How do I get certain interviews,
Right. Right.
So uh
But I also think
but it was
publicists.
encouraging to hear that.
That's true in perspective, absolutely. But I also think publicists try their best to keep everybody at bay until they have to. So,
Well, that's why
um,
you cold email.
exactly, yeah.
I don't
Let
do
them
it
know.
often though. I've done it like twice in my in my
Yeah,
career.
just see what happens. Of course, of course.
Usually I know them already before I code because otherwise it's very awkward. You're like,
Yeah,
hi.
I've got this many subscribers, this many followers. I've got this kind of coverage. I'd like to interview your person. But then you
Yeah.
see people with like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and you're like, how the hell are they landing these
Gotta shoot
interviews?
your
So
shot.
it's all, yeah, you got to shoot your shot in life. That's certainly one of the big things to learn once you're out here on your own doing your things. But we're going to get into so many stuff, so many things, so many topics here today, talking about the world of entertainment. Of course, we're going to spend some time talking about the sad passing of Lisa Marie Presley, someone that I have known about for a majority of my life. And so hearing the news the other day, just a very tragic situation for so many reasons. And we'll talk about it here on the show as well. Offer up our tribute to Lisa Marie Presley and her sad passing. We're also going to talk about some of the Golden Globe stuff. We're going to talk about a little bit of the Ezra Miller controversy. We're going to get into some James Gunn stuff, talking about Superman. We're also going to hear about this Super Nintendo World soft opening. I should have known there'd be a soft opening, knowing how Harry Potter opened to a soft opening. I should have known there'd be one. And we'll update you on who's going to this Super Nintendo World to cover it. And we'll talk about our reviews, our recommendations for the week, and just generally have some fun talking about these topics as well. After, of course, we pay our tribute to Lisa Marie Presley. And one more thing, please remember the Streamlabs and Super Chats are open. We have moved to YouTube. So send us some love, send us some ducats here to kind of end the week and send us into the weekend with big smiles on our faces. The Streamlabs address is right there in the middle above our heads. It's also going to be pinned in the chat in just a second. It's also in the description of this video. So, Wendy Lee Zaney, where shall we start?
Well, I know it's Friday and our show is super fun and laid back, and then the purpose is to bring, just like a light end to
Yes.
your week. But I know this is really important to talk about. So I think we start with the sad news of Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
I found out. I don't know if it was just announced yesterday.
Yes.
But that's when I found out, like, actually, I was, like, about to, like, walk into the screening for searching, and
Oh,
then my friend was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Wait, what?"
yeah.
Very sudden because no other known health issues generally, with Lisa
Well,
Marie Presley, from
not
what I can remember.
okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, she had a struggle with prescription addiction since 2008
Oh.
because of she gave
Oh.
birth to twins. I think from her
Yes.
latest husband and Mr. Lockwood there, and that had caused her a lot of pain. And
Mm.
so she became addicted to prescription painkillers, and she even wrote a foreword for a book that came out in 2019 talking about opioids and speaking frankly about her journey with addiction and pain and all of that. So certainly something that she has confronted, and we know she partied hard, she rocked hard when she was younger. Certainly involved in the scene there with rock and rollers and trying to establish herself as her own name. But either way, Wendy, 54 years old. Apparently, she'd had a heart attack. They had revived her, and then she had a heart attack again, and that was pretty much it. And it's just heartbreaking because this occurred 4 days after the celebration of what would have been Elvis's 88th birthday. She was at Graceland in Memphis, had taken pictures with the fans, had cut the cake to celebrate the birth of Elvis Presley, her dad, and then had seen Austin Butler on Tuesday night win the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama for portraying Elvis, Wendy. So there was a lot of, it seemed like this was such a positive time, positive energy time. And sadly, to have her pass away in this way, we don't know what induced it. Of course, you could speculate that maybe drugs were involved or the prescription stuff was involved. We don't know until an autopsy is done. But for now, it's just overall just tragic, you know?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, like I wasn't aware of some of the issues she's had in the past with her health. So now that you say that, definitely kind of take a look at how that could have affected her overall health. But nonetheless, you're right. It was at the Golden Globes, Elvis's birthday. So she was in Graceland. She was at the Golden Globes. She was celebrating. And then so this, regardless of it all, it came really, really sudden. And I just feel so terrible for her family, Priscilla Presley, having to go through another heartache, and
Another
for her
loss.
only daughter. Her
Yeah.
only daughter. And so I just feel like Hollywood lost another shining star.
Yeah. It's so sad because, like we said, there she is, kind of celebrating, seeing the picture there with her dad. And of course, I put a version of that picture up on the thumbnail to give honor and tribute to her. And certainly someone who had such an interesting history in our world, starting out as the only daughter of Elvis and Priscilla Presley, 9 years old when Elvis died in 1977. Then, going through 4 marriages. She was married to Nicolas Cage for a little while. Let that sink in. She was married to Michael Jackson, which was probably the most tumultuous, famous marriage. And there were a lot of, how can I say this? A lot of drama, a lot of
tabloid stuff.
A lot of tabloid gossip stuff, saying that this was a marriage of convenience to kind of block Michael from some of the child molestation accusations. There was also people were saying that she was trying to recruit Michael into Scientology or whatever she was involved in at the time. I don't know. None of us really know what was going on, but there was a lot of drama around that. But look, I mean, the daughter of the king of rock and roll being with the king of pop, there was just all kinds of drama in the 1990s when drama really was.
People were like salivating. They're like, what drama can we
exactly
can we benefit from financially? Yeah,
exactly. So, surviving all of that, but giving birth, to 3 daughters, a son, then losing her son I think 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe a couple of years ago, to his suicide here, and her talking about it and saying how his death really exploded the family, just absolutely shattered the family for all 3 of the daughters and her. And she has Riley Keough, who is a actress now. She was in Logan Lucky. She's been in a number of things, The Girlfriend Experience, a really good actress who's establishing herself as well. So talent runs through this family. You talk about Nepo babies. I mean, there's a lot, there's 3 generations of babies, Nepo babies doing their thing here. And pretty incredible. But yes, what you bring up with Priscilla is so incredibly sad. Losing Elvis. Of course, they were divorced at the time, but she always loved him. He always loved her. Losing her grandson in such a tragic way, and now losing her daughter in such a tragic, sad way, and way too early. And here's Priscilla with obviously this like a spine of steel, just soldiering on. And it's just so sad and devastating for that family, Wendy. to go yet another loss.
Yeah, so, our hearts go out to their fans, family, and obviously, like, don't try to dig up, like, read the gossip or whatever.
Right, 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 right.
Don't
We all
don't
go
don't look
through
at
stuff.
those.
We all go through
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So,
But yeah,
yes. So definitely sending some healing vibes to friends and family of Priscilla,
yeah.
and Lisa Marie, the late Lisa
Absolutely.
Marie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure and a lot of people spoke. Boz Lerman came out and spoke very powerfully, saying how
Yes.
she's dead. They hope to honor her with the movie, and Austin Butler certainly thanking her and Priscilla, who were there at the table at the Golden Globes, the Elvis table, giving love there, and a number of celebrities: Billy Idol, Leah Remini, Leanne Rhymes, a lot of people, John Travolta, a lot of people, Pink issuing their
Yes.
comments and issuing their tributes to Lisa Marie. So certainly a woman who touched a lot of people, regardless of all the drama. She was
Mhm.
able to touch and have friendships with a lot of people across the board and a lot of multiple generations of artists as well. And so it almost felt like there was going to be this rebirth of Elvis Presley's reappreciation, and Lisa was going to maybe take the mantle from Priscilla and go forward with this, because Lisa and Priscilla had been the ones who kind of revitalized Elvis's estate after all the crap that Tom Parker had done
Yeah.
to him. They were the
Yeah.
ones who kind of grabbed it, put it back into the mainstream, got people back on board and reappreciating the love for Elvis. So, yeah, a very tragic loss for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Okay, let's there's no easy way to move on.
There's no
Let's
easy
move on.
way.
Yeah, yeah, let's move on to some other stories here for sure. What do we got,
Yes.
Wendy?
Well, let's go into some breaking news.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the James Gunn going on. We just talked about him last week, how
Yeah.
he's on Twitter a lot, and it gives fans a feel of that transparency that we're in the know, because he's so willing to kind of like debunk things
Yeah.
and to talk about things pretty casually. So I definitely want to talk about this. So there was a tweet on Twitter by the account Super Film News, and
Yeah.
talking about a rumor of a casting. Jacob Elordi, I believe is how you pronounce his
Yeah.
last name, was rumored to be James Gunn's Superman for the DCU. Thoughts? That was the tweet. So
Yeah.
James Gunn then quote tweeted it and said, "My thoughts are no one has been cast as Superman yet. Casting, as is almost always the case with me, will happen after the script is finished or close to finished, and it isn't. We'll announce a few things in not too long, but the casting of Superman won't be one of them." And then the emoji is a merman. So I'm guessing like Aquaman type of an announcement. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. I
Very
might be reading
interesting.
too much into a simple emoji.
Quite possibly, Wendy. That seems odd on so many levels there to see that for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think this. Again, I'm always of two minds. I don't like that he's jumping into Twitter to respond to this stuff, but then again, he is trying to nip stuff in the bud. He's trying to cut stuff off before it starts to spring and become and take on its own life and become a thing that everyone is talking about. And so I appreciate that, but on the other side of things, just go and focus on what you need to build. And certainly the Superman situation, he's the one that spoke about the fact that he has been writing a Superman script for a little bit. So naturally, people are going to speculate. People are going to throw out thoughts. And maybe there has been conversations about Jacob Elordi, but he's probably one of many people they're
Right.
considering. And so these websites, these Twitter accounts, they need clicks, they need likes, they need attention. And so they're going to speculate. And I'm not saying irresponsibly. I'm just saying they're going to speculate and
Yeah.
see what the response is. But, James, I think had a nice response saying, look, we're not even close to thinking about casting. We're working on a script first. Then once we get it approved, once it seems like it's a go, then we're going to worry about casting at that point. And who knows, by that point, Wendy, there could be a whole new crop of young actors who are coming through, getting discovered here. I mean, Austin Butler, who knew who Austin Butler was till Elvis? So you just never know who's going to pop up here. So you can speculate who you want,
Exactly.
but you just never know what the end result is going to be. So yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think about it? Do you think it's good that he's weighing in and responding to people, or do you think are you unsettled by that?
I actually I think it's kind of refreshing that he does chime in. It feels like he is kind of trying to stay on top of what the community of fans are talking about.
Yeah.
and to squash he had done this before he became the CEO of
Oh,
DC.
good point.
So
Yes.
so this is not like a new thing for him, but
Yeah.
I do like that, and to just for him to set the record straight, be like, nope, no, not true, nope. Because if it was true, he wouldn't need to debunk it at all.
Right. He wouldn't say anything. He would just let it float in the wind and see how people's reaction to that is. But I do want to bring this tweet up because somebody responded that I with a great response here. Somebody who has worn the cape before. I wonder if it comes up as one of the first responses. Yes. Wendy, I want to get your thoughts on this. Let me share the screen because I thought it was really funny that he found the moment to respond to it. Here it is. Brandon Ralph says the suits are too blue, making fun of his own outfit. That he, when he became Superman, the criticism from the fans was the suits are too blue and all of that.
The suits are too blue. Do they really say that?
Oh yeah, they criticize the outfit because they're using essentially the outfit here in the right picture.
Oh,
that's
his
Brandon
suit.
Routh's. Yeah. And that's Henry Cavill's outfit on the left. So there's essentially superimposing Jacob Elordi's head on top of both. But the fact that he is responding with the suits are too blue just shows you how he's got a good sense of humor about it all. What happened back in 2005. So yeah, just great to see that from Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh.
So
I enjoyed his Superman movie.
I know a lot of people do. A lot of people do for sure. That plane sequence alone is worth watching that movie. That was incredible.
Yeah. Just punch through it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, where do we want to go next, Wendy?
Other breaking news. You guys remember Thelma and Louise? Now, potentially, there could be a musical adaptation for it by Amanda Seyfried and Evan Rachel Wood. And this is an exclusive coming from Variety. So both actresses, no strangers to musicals.
Yeah.
Definitely very talented in both acting and singing. So there is talk that Evan Rachel Wood has joined Amanda Seyfried in this musical version of Thelma and Louise. So according to this article, this musical has been in the works since at least 2021, so not too long. With the film's screenwriter Kaylee Corey. So this has been something I never really thought of Thelma and Louise as a musical.
Yeah, I mean, why would you? Why would you?
Right. So Gina Davis, Susan Sarandon, I would love to see the both of them if they're gonna do it. I love to see a little cameo from them.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, both super talented. And I think the both of them also have musical talent. So
yeah.
It wouldn't be too far-fetched. What do you think of this? Like, do you think, one, it's necessary for potentially a remake of Thelma and Louise, and two, to make it a musical adaptation?
Yeah, are they saying musical like theatrical, like go to the theater musical? Or are they saying, and I'd say musical theater, or are they saying film musical? That's the question that I have as I read the article.
I mean, it says the musical adaptation of the film. Okay. So I don't know if it means for because if it's going to be stage, then it's real different.
Right.
Than film.
Well, I think it would be fascinating because there haven't been many remakes of films that have been turned into musicals. Certainly The Producers is the first one that I can think of, because that Gene Wilder, Zero Mostel original film was not a musical. They turned it into a musical on Broadway, and then they shot the musical as a film with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick. So I would be very curious to see, because I always think when you take an already established property, it is tough to throw songs into it. I know Once did a fantastic job on stage doing a musical for that, but the Rocky musical crashed and burned. Spider-Man Turned from the Dark, or whatever it's called, crashed and burned as a musical.
That was pretty bad.
You could turn out the light or turn out the dark, whatever it's called. So there have been
Turn Off the Dark, I think.
Is that what it is? Turn Off the Dark.
Right? Yeah. It was a weird title.
It was a weird title. There are plenty of films that have tried to become musicals, both in theater or on film, and haven't quite succeeded. So I'd be very curious to see who's writing the book in terms of the musical book, who's writing the lyrics, who's writing the songs. Because certainly that's kind of been making a bit of a comeback. Pinocchio, in essence, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, in essence, is a musical,
Yeah.
right? And certainly we saw Greatest Showman make as much money as it did as a musical. I would argue West Side Story is one of the best films of 2021, and that was a musical. In the Heights was a fantastic musical.
Yes.
So you've got these two really good actresses coming in to get involved in this. And of course, Evan Rachel Wood, I loved her in Across the Universe when she was
Yeah.
singing the Beatles songs. So I think it's a great twosome.
Yeah.
Especially Amanda Seyfried coming off All the Love for Dropout. So will they be able to create that vibe that we got and still deal with the really hard stuff that we see in the movie? And certainly now, in all these years later, Wendy, because it's well over 3 decades old, that movie, we have a different point of view after Me Too, after all these things.
Mm-hmm.
What's the more nuanced approach that we're going to see in musical format? So I'd be very curious to see it, and I
Yeah.
wonder if they can pull it off.
Yeah. I definitely would, like, thinking about it that we're
Mhm.
getting this, I definitely would prefer, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a stage production. And that's
Yeah,
something I would prefer rather than
mm,
like a film, like Thelma and Louise on the big screen again, but as a
yeah,
musical. It just I don't know if that would work as well for just my personal taste, but I think a musical could be really interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and they teased this at the Golden Globes. Mo Brings Plenty and Cole Hauser, who were there to present her award for The Dropout, they said Amanda couldn't be there because she was, quote, deep in the process of creating a new musical, which is what this was all about. So,
Hint, hint.
yeah. And Amanda Seyfried said she was in New York with her Dropout team and she left this message. So, in New York, that automatically makes me think stage musical. So, maybe they're workshopping the stage musical. They'll do a run
Mhm.
on stage and then eventually adapt it into a film. So,
Mhm.
all is very possible for sure. And of course,
Yes.
as you mentioned, her with Mamma Mia, she can do that. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
um, okay, well, we're 22 minutes. Let's take a quick break and then we'll jump into some more topics here on the John and Wendy show right after this. All right, Wendy, what have we got next?
All right, we're done with breaking news. So let's go ahead and go back to our main topic, and
Yes.
let's talk about a show that is coming out this Sunday on HBO Max. Highly anticipated show for many,
Yeah.
and we're talking about The Last of Us. And already the first reviews, first reactions are already up.
Yeah.
Some people, including friend of the show Tessa from Mama's Geeky, has
Yeah.
already screened it, and she had very positive things to say. So
Mhm.
let's see what people are saying in this article, and this is on the Rotten Tomatoes website.
Yeah.
So the headline already kind of grabbed my attention because it says The Last of Us first reviews, quote, best video game adaptation ever made. That's
Yeah.
pretty huge.
That is massive.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty huge. So just to read some of the quotes in on the article here,
Mhm.
how does it compare to the video game? So from the Wrap, Karama Horn says the creator and Naughty Dog co-president Neil is thankfully heavily involved in the making of this. I'm just gonna try to skip over, so I'm not reading
Sure.
the whole thing. And together, the team has done an excellent job of sticking close to the source material while also breathing life into new characters along the way, creating an engaging and refreshing rendering of a popular genre story.
Yeah.
See, that's great to hear that they can stick close to the source, so to make the people who are fans of the game, who have played it multiple times over and really know that story and love that story,
Yeah.
to give them, a good watching experience, and
Mhm.
for the newcomers who may not know and they're being introduced to some new characters, which kind of changes things up and keep it fresh, so they're not always like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. It's like, oh, you thought you did, but here's a new character, but it doesn't change the main story. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
sounding like that, so that sounds great to me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of really positive reviews here overall. I mean, Judy Berman here in Time Magazine, based on the acclaimed video game. The show is by turns gorgeous and harrowing, brutal and warm, from the performances to the storytelling to the aesthetic. It's exquisitely made adaptation, but it also asks viewers to absorb a whole lot of human misery without saying much that we haven't already heard in similar shows. So we're getting some stuff that we know, just put in a whole new context and seeing how that shakes out for sure. But yeah, pretty much everyone is saying positive things about this show, and I would think what Karama brings up, the idea of having Craig Mazin, who was fantastic show running Chernobyl, working with Neil Druckmann, who had created the game, That's
Mhm.
all positive stuff as well. What other reviews stood out to you here on these first reactions, Wendy?
This one was interesting. So it talks about how our two leads, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey,
Mm.
who are both GOT alumni, and from Pat Brown, Slant Magazine says Pascal doesn't quite read as a 50-something man. He compellingly wears the weight of 2 decades in his troubled but soft featured face. And then he says, for her part, Ramsey imbues the 14-year-old Ellie with a nuanced combination of grown-up disillusionment and childlike naivety that lends to The Last of Us sense of pathos, even when it's missing most of its other marks.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got Kayla Cobb over here on Decider saying the talent in both of these leads is simply staggering. Both Pascal and Ramsey are able to communicate years of pain, hope, and fear in a single look.
And that's exactly what I'm expecting from the both
Mhm.
of them. If you watch Game of Thrones, if you've watched anything that either of them done, that is
Yeah.
what they're good at.
Yeah.
I mean, Pedro Pascal acts with a mask, and you can hear it and feel it in his voice. You know what I'm
That's true.
saying?
That's true.
That's not easy to do. People think like mask work or whatever. It's easy, and I know it's not always him
Right.
under the mask. I know there's other actors, but like they do such a good job together with his voiceover.
Yeah.
In The Mandalorian, it's really fantastic.
Yeah. Agreed. Talking about the other people in the cast, Simon Cardy over here at IGN Movies says solid performances flank the pair as characters weave in and out of Joel and Ellie's journey. This include Anna Torv. A lot of you know who Anna Torv is as the Steely Tess. Gabrielle Luna, who was last for me seen in Terminator Dark Fate as Joel's estranged brother Tommy, and Lamar Johnson as the layered and compassionate Henry. Special mention has to go out to Nick Offerman. That's right, Parks and Recreation.
Oh, right.
Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman, and Murray Bartlett, who are unforgettable as the melancholic Bill and Frank, respectively. We spent fleeting time with some great performances that act to consistently remind us about the fragility of life. And, Wendy, this the amount of actors in this one, just to bring it up here, Gabrielle Luna, Anna Storm Reed, who you just saw in Missing.
She's in the show.
Yep. Melanie Linsky, who was just getting so much love for Yellow Jackets. Graham Greene, fantastic Native American actor, as well involved in this. So a lot of good, strong performers and good, strong production people involved in this one. So is there anything else that stood out of these reactions?
I think I'm just really happy to hear that it's overall pretty positive.
Yeah.
With a few critiques, which I think is totally fair as what critics do as they're watching things. It's their job to look for sometimes the little things just to bring awareness to it. But I feel like a lot of people so far are enjoying it. I do want to read Jermaine's from IO9. So The Last of Us isn't really too concerned with the zombies. Much like the game it's based on, the show is at its best when it's focusing on the little things, life's small miracles, seeing through the prism of this dynamic relationship. The ever-present threat of zombies adds a permanent tension throughout, but that's basically their biggest impact. In terms of actual zombies, or as I refer to here, the clickers, I don't like the sounds that they make. There just aren't that many.
Yeah. Now, have you had a chance to see any of this? Have you had a chance?
I haven't had a chance. Okay. I forgot to reach out to HBO. So that's like on me, but it's okay. I'll see it on Sunday evening. But I am looking forward to it. And I'm kind of excited because like I know so little about this story.
Yeah, about the game. Yeah.
Because I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we finally now just got a PS5.
Yeah.
So you haven't even had time to go and do this. And look at the rating right now.
Yeah,
It's 97% certified fresh.
That's incredible. Yeah. And Stephen Kelly here kind of reiterating the title of this article. It doesn't feel over at bbc.com. It doesn't feel even remotely controversial to call this the best video game adaptation ever made. Somewhere Sonic's ears perked up, but yes. I mean,
Sonic. It's very different though.
It is very different. But I'm excited for it. And there's a couple of great articles and some good YouTube videos that'll get you to what you need to know about Last of Us before you watch the show. So I will definitely be watching those. Wendy, are you going to do a reaction watch along? Are you going to record?
Sure am. I'm going to kick myself in the ass later. Sure am. Too many people are asking for it. There's just no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way. So we've got Critical Role, the season 2 of Legend of Vox Machina coming up because that releases January 20th.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's next week.
Got The Last of Us.
Yes.
Now, The
Yeah.
Bad Batch just started.
Yes.
We need to. People want to see Wednesday, and I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah.
What is time?
Yeah.
What is time?
A year ago, Wendy was like, "I want to be in demand." A year later, I had the people demanding too many things.
Questioning my life choices right now.
Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. That's how it goes. That's
If I have an editor, this would feel very different.
Oh, of course.
If I had the money, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
If I had the money to pay the editor that the rate that I feel like they actually, because people offer to do it for free, and I'm like, absolutely not. I don't work for free. You shouldn't work for free.
Oh, okay.
You know, not for editing. Like I can't. If you want to, like, there's some people that'll, and we've tried. Some people have offered up designs and graphic designs and whatever for the channel, and we always ask, like, can we pay you?
Right.
And they're like, no, it's a gift, and then we always say thank you so much, obviously. But editing is like, especially asking them to edit a show.
Yeah.
I just know how long it takes me and how long it can take them potentially, and then the back and forth of, because I gotta approve it right before I
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's a back and forth, and that's why a lot of times I choose to do my own.
Yeah.
Because if the edit doesn't look good, I can only blame one person, me, and I'm free. I work for myself for free.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, if any of you editors want to work for free for me, please reach out to me. I'm not as kind as Wendy.
Pay your people. How dare you? How dare you say that in front of me? You pay people.
I will pay people. Of course, I'll pay people. But yeah, I mean, I might do this. I might do this. It'll kill me.
Are you okay
but
with zombie stuff? You don't get too.
Say that again.
You don't get like nervous about watching zombies. Like you're fine.
Oh no!
Right?
And even if I do freak out, that's what people want to see, right? So, and Jermaine Lucier said there isn't that many zombie scares in it, so there's enough. It's more about the tension and the drama and the character stuff, and that stuff I can really sink, for lack of a term, sink my teeth into and enjoy. So yeah.
Have you watched Train to Busan?
Oh yeah, I've seen that thing 3 times.
All right. Well, if you can handle that, I'm sure you can handle The Last of Us.
Train to Busan is so good, man.
So good.
So good. All right. So, yeah, Wendy wins Employee of the Month every month.
Damn right. I should make shots of myself and put them here. Employee of the Month. January, February,
Just
March.
Different faces in different shirts.
You ever go to like at Disneyland when you get out of the Mission Breakout ride at the Guardians of the Galaxy one?
Oh yeah.
At the T1 collection, they have the Employee of the Month wall, and it's the same girl, but she's in a different pose.
That's genius. It's genius. All right, Wendy, let's move on. Where shall we head off to next?
Yes, let's move on to one of the trailers that recently dropped.
Oh yeah.
The one that had everybody waiting because apparently it didn't drop at halftime like I thought it, because like I literally was not watching the game. I was just refreshing Twitter. And so I found out during me and Dustin's live stream on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, by the way, the latest trailer that dropped during the College National Championship.
Yeah, the national championship. Yes.
All these words.
College football national championship. Yes.
I wasn't even aware which teams were playing, but then I saw the score. It was like 65-7.
It was an utter destruction.
And I was like, wait, I think it was MK Songbird who was also in the chat who said this in our chat. I was like, 56-7. I was like, they scored one touchdown.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Ouch. That's rough. Yeah. That's rough. So yeah, we had to, apparently it didn't drop until the third quarter.
Yes, right after the third quarter, yeah.
Wow.
Which had been on Reddit apparently, because I did the same thing. I was sitting and we were texting back and forth. I was sitting there at halftime. The Geek Buddies reached out to me, like, we should react to this. I'm like, I can't believe you guys are available tonight. Hell yeah, let's record it.
Yeah.
I think in retrospect, I realized we probably should have gone live. I think that would have been the smarter move. I just would have been in there
live
ahead of them, and then boom, done it.
There's no way you could have gone live if you were going to play the trailer.
Really? Oh, because I saw a number of people going
they
live.
Were doing watch-alongs.
Oh.
I think they were doing watch-alongs. And so they were like, you could have reacted without having that.
Oh, the trailer up is what you're saying.
Yes.
Right.
I think YouTube would have flagged it, or Disney would have flagged it,
like a strike or whatever. Oh yeah, good point.
No, not a strike. They would have just turned off your. They would have killed your stream.
I actually had that happen when I did the Spider-Man one last year, right? Or a year and a half ago.
Really?
I
Across the
went live
Spider-Verse?
to do the Spider-Man No Way Home
Oh, No
trailer
Way
drop,
Home.
and I played it because I didn't know, right? I'm still
Yeah,
learning
right,
at
right.
the time. And all of a sudden I went black during my live stream for like 5, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Then I came back up and then
Mm.
I was able to play it again. But I had to
Huh.
fight to get the thing taken off.
Weird.
Yeah, but it was a weird situation. But next
Yeah.
time, yeah, I'll know to do that for sure.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
can always you can always react to it live without it being like picture in picture, and
gotcha.
then download the stream and then add it in post production, and
Oh,
they just put it
smart.
up again, just that section.
Just that section as a separate thing. Oh,
Correct.
see, just I'm still learning, kids. I'm still learning. I'm only, I'm still a newbie at this whole YouTube thing. But yeah, great stuff. Yeah, but anyway, do you want to talk about MODOK? What do you want to talk about for
Let's
this?
talk about MODOK because
Yeah.
I was thinking, would they show it in this one, or
Yeah.
are they gonna make us wait until the movie or like the final trailer, the final hurrah? But they showed it not once but twice, and
Yeah.
Dustin and I were so shocked that we actually missed it the first time. Like we were paying attention to Kang
Yeah, gang.
and not looking behind him, that we saw a maskless MODOK.
Yeah.
That is the face of. Oh, I didn't recognize it. Dustin recognized it right away when he saw
did?
it on the rewatch.
Oh.
He goes, that's that guy who's Yellow Jacket. I was like, what
Right.
are you talking about? I was like, he didn't make it after the first movie. Spoilers, sorry for anybody who hasn't watched Ant-Man the first one. That came out years ago.
Yeah, if you're
That came
watching
out
this
years
show,
ago.
I mean, I had to break it to you, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was like, no, there's no way. And he's like, yeah, that's him. He's like, what's his name? I was like, Corey Stoll.
Yeah, Corey Stoll.
And it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Corey Stoll.
Let me
As MODOK.
Let me bring it up because I want people to be able to watch a look at it at the same time. This is this is a an already made thumbnail, so don't get mad at me for this, but this is the easiest way I can show you this. And of course, WebP to PNG is always an annoying thing that you have to do nowadays. But here you go. That you can see there. That's where it appears that his face is on there. Corey Stoll within Yellow Jacket, which I thought was really weird. Like I was shocked that he was the one they were going with to do that, because MODOK and Yellow Jacket are not the same character in the Marvel universe.
No.
So it was an interesting decision to make it be Corey Stoll. And I think it's because they know he was a great actor. A lot of people really enjoyed him in the Ant-Man movie, and now they want to bring him back because people were mad he got killed off. And so
Dustin's theory is that he wasn't ever killed, because at the end you saw how it kind of like he kind of dealt the weird and he kind of into himself
into the quantum realm. Yeah,
into the quantum realm. So now it makes sense that he's there. He's met Kang, and then I think after this, then we will get, to the AIM part of things.
Right.
So that's very interesting. I'm very curious to see in how they're going to present that, and if it is the same person, if it is Darren, then what is Scott Lang's reaction going to be when he sees that?
Right.
Like, there's this movie can be really, really, really interesting, or it could be a variant. It could be a variant.
That's possible too.
Which is possible, but I would like it to be the actual guy.
We see 2 Scott Langs in the trailer, right? When they separate out from each other and look at each other. Right. So we see 2 MODOKs. There's that MODOK with the face, and then there's
the armor one.
Yeah, this is the armor one. So is that the same MODOK, or is that not the same MODOK? Who's to say?
I think it's the same MODOK.
You do? Okay.
I do.
You don't think it's a variant?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Too soon. I don't want 50 million variants in this movie. I'm not ready for that. We need to build up to it. You can't just that feels convenient and lazy.
Wow.
It's true. No, if you think about it, anytime they take like Flashpoint Paradox, for example, not specifically like the movie, right? Yeah. But they can always use the Flash running into another timeline and be like, oh, this character died, but then we run back. And I was like, it makes the consequences and the results of a movie, like the results of a certain character's action feels less important, less valuable.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, well, they'll just come back with a variant. And it's like, well, no, but I want them to earn this and for us to feel this.
Yeah.
And not just be like, oh, here's another Scott Lang. That's all.
Deal with it. Deal with it. Yeah, but I like that MODOK's going to be part of this. Very curious to see how MODOK is going to play, what role he's going to play in the overall thing. And I think you bring up an excellent point. What is Scott's reaction going to be when he sees Corey Stoll down now? And also, what is Cassie's reaction going to be? Because yes, we've recast with a new actress, but in Cassie's history, she was there when Yellow Jacket was sent into the quantum realm. So will she have some memories that are triggered or some trauma that is triggered by seeing him again, considering he tried to kill her father right in front of her in her own bedroom, So that's going to be curious to see as well. By the way, shout out to that actress who is really good in that new trailer. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the trailer, it's a really sweet trailer. Of course, a book I've known from years because of women of different generations in my life talking about that book. But it was a nice trailer. Her and Rachel McAdams and Kathy Bates being involved in that one. So, but great to see her working, and I hope the teenage actor or the older actress who played her in Endgame is going to keep working consistently as well. Because I'm not a fan of the recasting, because there didn't seem to be a reason for it other than they wanted a bigger name like Catherine Newton. But we'll see if they make it work.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are speculating that Scott Lang might die.
Yeah.
Do you
think?
I mean, look, you talk about consequences.
It's possible.
5 heroes. They've killed off 5 heroes in the last few years. So, do you think?
I think it's possible, especially that line of Scott Lang saying, "I don't have to win. We just both have to lose."
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, it is.
I almost feel like I was like, man, I kind of wish we got that line in the movie. That hit so hard.
Oh,
because then the next beat was, Dad, I'm sorry, Cassie. I'm like, why? Why are you sorry? Where are you going?
Oh my God. If he dies, oof, that would be insane. That just would be heartbreaking. How do they go forward though? Does Cassie, because that's what's happening. They're essentially, soft rebooting.
It may not be Scott. It might be Janet or
Hank. Well, to be honest, a lot of the stuff that Evangeline Lilly has gotten in trouble for saying lately, you could see that being a possible. Oh, you mean Janet? You mean
Janet
Michelle
Van Dyne? Yeah, not Hope.
Okay, sorry. You mean Michelle Pfeiffer? Yeah, that's possible.
Because she's been there. She's been in the quantum realm, and she knows the stakes, and she might, even though she just got a second chance at having her family back, she might make the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, could be both of them.
It could be both of the parents.
Yeah, Hank and Janet. That could be absolutely possible. For sure. Some people speculate that it might be Hope as well. That because
a lot. I've seen that too. They're saying that like, oh, it could just be Cassie left, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I don't know about that. Yeah. I feel like it's a little soon.
Yeah, I think
for Ant-Man to
just reboot essentially.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough. I don't feel like I've gotten enough Ant-Man, even though this is his 3rd movie. I want more.
This one is the one that feels like there are stakes.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be real fun to see. As a nice change of pace for Ant-Man. All right, let's hit one last story here, Wendy, before we get into our trending stuff.
Yes.
What do we got here?
Let's talk about Ezra Miller. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I don't think we have to stay too long on this.
Fair enough.
Because I think you guys probably already heard, but they pled guilty today to the charges related to a 2022 trespass arrest in Vermont. They have been just getting in, a lot of trouble, a lot of not so great stuff.
Yeah.
That's being reported. So they avoided 3 months in jail because they pled guilty, but they will also now need to pay a $500 fine plus court fee, be on a year of probation, according to the court. So I think it's good that they are taking responsibility.
Yes.
I am not sure if I feel like this is like the plea deal is like very light.
Yeah.
because there's also been
you feel it was light, or
assault.
you're not sure if you feel it was light? You're still on the fence about.
I'm still a little bit on the
Okay.
fence about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just thought maybe they would plead guilty to some of the bigger charges. But then again, like, why if you have a way out of it, why would you want to? I guess
Yeah,
to
but
play
maybe
devil's advocate.
yeah, and maybe those court cases haven't come up yet. You know, maybe this is just the one in
Oh,
Vermont because this is not the one in Hawaii.
oh, that's right. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
different
The one in
location.
Hawaii is much more serious.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even though it said Vermont, my brain stopped working.
yeah,
Yeah. Um. So what this means for them as far as like future in the DCU, nobody really knows because
yeah,
nobody really knows exactly what is the plan. I like to guess that this version of the Flash just wouldn't move forward,
yeah,
just like Henry Cavill's Superman isn't going to move forward, and Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam isn't going to move forward, and
yeah,
etc. Because they all kind of like they're kind of in that same group.
yeah,
That's not a part of the hard reset, and that's what I think. And this was obviously already happening prior to James Gunn even coming into position as the co-CEO.
yeah, yeah,
So it took a while for this to happen. Remember how we were hearing things left and right about Ezra Miller.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
But
what are your
this-
thoughts?
I get it. I think Warner Brothers maybe threw some lawyers at them, and they used those lawyers to get them out of this situation with as a slap on the wrist, in essence, because they were facing 25 years in prison for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Could have easily gone away for a while, but Warner Brothers is how would they react to having a star of their one of their big premiere films coming out later this year be in jail? And so this is where I think Warner Brothers has thrown some money at this, thrown some lawyers at this, and so they were able to negotiate this down to a plea deal. The interesting part of this is there are 41 conditions attached to this plea deal. So this is interesting because it includes no drinking,
Right.
you will be subject
For
to
a
random
year.
drug tests, and a commitment to continue seeking mental health. Yeah, it's no drinking for a year. Exactly. So there's a lot that they are going to have to meet, a lot of qualifications.
I
that
think
they're gonna have
that's
to
good
meet.
though.
I think it's great.
I think it's good
Yes.
for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, the actor, Ezra was arrested twice in Hawaii, so that's still
And that's the assault one, right? That's where
yes, yeah,
he
'cause
threw
he
the
threw the
chair or
chair.
furniture. Yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah.
something about like darts or
Yes, the
something.
darts.
Yes.
Yes. And let's
Yes.
make it clear, they're 30 years old. This is not a 21-year-old, an 18-year-old, 19. They're 30. So this is a full-fledged adult.
Mm-hmm.
I get the mental health stuff happens. I get, this is what they're defaulting to.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to see how the Hawaii thing shakes out overall.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of this Warner Brothers, because there were reports coming out a few weeks ago that they were just going to axe everybody and just keep Ezra. And I think that sends the wrong message to a lot of people about how to handle situations like this. So we'll see in the end what it all leads to. So, okay. Should we take a break here?
Let's take a break.
Okay, let's take a break and then we'll jump into our trending stuff right after this. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I forgot to go back. There we go.
Well, hello.
All right, so we're back here. Let's get into some trending stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, we haven't seen one Streamlab or Super Chat come through. We've got 75 of you watching us right now.
75.
Come on now.
At least give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, give us a like. Send in
Helps
some
us out on the
Streamlabs or
channel.
Super Chats. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, Wendy, where are we going?
All right, let's talk. We always got to start off with K-pop quarter because
Yes.
I will. I feel like I've already talked your ears off about K-pop so much that you even recognize BLACKPINK on your own on the radio,
course.
which I was so impressed and I was so proud. I was like, yes. I told Laura so you're cool about it. She's like, oh my gosh. Maybe this year we'll do a K-pop. I can convince you
We
to do
shall
a
see.
K-pop thing. What we will not be doing, Rocha, is going to Coachella because as
No.
much as I love BLACKPINK, that music festival
Yeah.
style lifestyle, it's just not for me. I
I
think it's
love
awesome that
showering.
people go and what?
I love showering too much to go to Coachella.
It's just it's a hard like you have to be I feel like it's not like Burning Man, but you have to like prepare yourself for it. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's in the desert. There's sand and dust. So for
Yes.
me, like respiratory wise, it's already not smart. Like with
Yeah.
my allergies, I would hate myself.
Yeah.
Also, I just found this out. I was talking to a friend of the show, Zach Mendoza, who's in the chat
Oh, yeah.
today.
Zach.
We were kind of saying, hey, are we thinking about going to
Mm.
Coachella for BLACKPINK because they're headlining, which is amazing. This will be
Massive.
their second time,
Yeah.
yeah, at Coachella. Um, and then I was thinking, okay, let's just drive there Saturday early morning, just leave after their set, just drive back. And
Yeah.
then Zach said, "Well, no, you have to buy the whole weekend. You can't just pick a day.
Oh,
You
right.
have to purchase the whole weekend, and that's not including your travel and lodging."
Right.
So,
It's like Sundance for music.
yeah.
You can't just go for one movie. You have to
Nope.
go see a few.
So that is out for me. Look, as long as they stream it, it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it when they streamed it last time, and my friend Ali already we already had the group chat going as soon as they had announced that they were headlining, and she said,
Yeah.
"So are we going?" And I said, "Not for me." And she said, "Okay, good, me neither." And she said, "Look, if they stream it, I will host a Blackpink streaming party at my home." And I'm like, "Down, I'll bring the snacks. I will bring snacks."
Yeah, they're headlining on Saturday.
Yes. But
Bad
last year
Bunny.
they performed twice.
Oh,
Even though they were only listed once.
right, right.
So I'm hoping that maybe they do an encore performance on Sunday.
Oh, maybe,
That
right?
would be great.
It's incredible because you look at Friday's pretty stacked with Bad Bunny,
Uh-huh.
Gorillaz, Chemical Brothers, of course, Becky G, of course, she's not gonna miss out on that. Pusha T is on there, Young Blood's on there, a
Mhm.
lot of people, and then you get to Saturday.
Jackson Wang.
Yeah, exactly. Blackpink, of course, leading the way, as we said, but Eric Prize is a great DJ. Kid Leroy, who I've kind of slowly come around and enjoyed his music. Charlie XCX, I always loved her. So, yeah, got a lot of people
Idris
going on
Elba
Saturday. What's that?
DJing again. Idris Elba.
Yeah, oh, right. Yes, Idris
Yeah, he
Elba would be
DJs.
there.
Yeah.
Luther himself will be DJing. And by the way, I thought some people going like, Luther? I'm like, yeah, he's been DJing for many, many years. He was DJing before he was an actor, so.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yes. Idris has been DJing
Oh.
for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. That's his thing.
Nice.
Just like Jeremy Renner, he was flipping houses before he became an actor. So
Wow.
yeah, people have their side gigs to stay alive.
Yeah.
And then Sundays, Frank Ocean, Bjork, Porter Robinson, Fisher.
That's a lot of good artists.
Yeah, a lot of is there. This is a good. These so many people. Jai Wolf is up in this thing, so there's a lot.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So and
Heck
then
yeah.
Calvin Harris, of course, DJing out there in the desert. So I don't know. I would love to be able to talk myself into something, but I can't even go to Burning Man. I can't even talk myself into Burning Man, so I can't imagine Coachella.
You have to like really be like in your mind.
You have
Know
to
what
really
you're
be in
doing.
your 20s, is what I think is the truth. Because I'm not going over there. Hey guys, what's going down? Reminds me of that Steve Buscemi meme when he's walking with a skateboard. Hello, fellow kids.
Oh my gosh.
High school.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, it's not for me. Look, if you're a Blink and you're traveling out to Coachella,
Yeah.
amazing. Enjoy your time.
Yes.
Light up your light sticks and show the girls support because I want them to have more of a pink ocean this time. Like last time,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was their first time. It was the first K-pop act to go and perform at Coach. Well, I don't know about the first K-pop group ever, but first female K-pop group for
Right.
sure.
Right.
So, I really, I hope a lot of the Blinks, even though it's a harder lifestyle. It's a lot more challenging to go to Coachella as far as like the surroundings and everything, hotel,
Yeah.
bathroom situation, etc., than like at a concert at a venue, which is way more comfortable.
Right.
But I really hope the girls feel and get to see more light sticks light up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. What else we got in this K-pop corner section here of the show?
2 videos dropped. One that was highly anticipated,
Okay.
a brand new song from Taeyang of Big
Okay.
Bang, who is like I think first or second generation from YG, did a collab with Jimin of BTS. The song is called Vibe, and it's just the two of them vocally going at it, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I saw the poster. I was like, I didn't even realize this was happening. I've already listened to it like 50 million times, so I contributed to the however many views that video has. So if you haven't already, if you haven't checked out that new video, the new song, check it out. It's called
Yeah.
Vibe. It's on Taeyang's channel. It might be on the BTS YouTube channel as well. So
Okay.
great vocal performances by both, but that's to be expected. And speaking of vocal, we
Yeah.
also have a first look at one of the members of the upcoming girl group, Babymonster from
Oh.
YG.
Okay.
And her name is Haram,
Okay.
Haram, Haram. And
Okay.
it's her doing a cover of the song Let Me Love You. So I listened to it a couple times. Her voice is so interesting. There's a lot of interesting layers in her voice. She does a little
Right.
bit of vocal fry, which is quite popular.
Yeah.
But I like her sound.
Okay.
It reminds me, I mean, she sounds like her own. She doesn't sound like she's trying to emulate anybody. And
Right.
she's definitely talented. And I think as she grows in her career, her voice is going to become even better. Her technique,
Yeah.
is going to be even better. But there's parts of it, her tone, like a more deeper sound, reminds me of Jennie of Blackpink. But the way she sings and she pronounces words, and when she does her runs and ad libs, reminds me of Rose from Blackpink.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if it's intentional or not, but that's some of the cues that I picked up. Another thing that I picked up, and they made sure they put this on the video. She's 15 years old.
She's 15.
She's very young. Remember we talked about this last time?
Yes.
And how I feel that they should really debut at 18 or
Yeah.
older.
Yeah.
But she's not the first 15-year-old to debut. I think in New Jeans, the K-pop group, which is fairly new still, I believe one of their members is 15. So
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, because do you put that on there to attract people or to make people?
I feel like it's meant to be like
hate?
aren't you impressed by her talent?
Yes.
Because she's
Right.
15 and she can do this, but I'm just like, she's so young.
Yeah. That's very
15
true.
years old. I mean, I love that she's super talented.
Right.
She looks great. She looks confident.
Yeah, very strong.
She
for
sounds
sure.
great. Yeah, but
All right, we'll keep an eye out for more of that stuff. Yeah, listen to the Taeyang and Jimin collab. It was a collab. It was really good. It was really good.
So good.
All right, what are we up to next year, Wendy?
I want to change this topic that I'm highlighting here.
Sure.
To this one instead, because I just somebody just flagged me in it, and I was like, ooh. So go ahead and just click on the link, if you will, in our show notes.
Okay.
Where it says Morphine.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go. What do we got?
So we got to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, because we know that Paramount is coming out with the feature film with Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Reggae, Jean Page, and Sophia Lillis.
Yeah, Sophia Lillis.
But there's also a live action series that's ordered by Paramount Plus.
Oof.
From Ross and Marshall Thurber.
Okay.
That is going to be 8 episodes, straight to series.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. And so it's by Rawson, who did Red Notice.
Right.
For Netflix. And from what I'm seeing is that this is not going to be connected to the movie at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and that's just kind of weirds me out that
so
it wouldn't.
confusing.
It wouldn't, right? Like I don't necessarily need the characters,
right?
To be, because I can be like, that's the cast for the movie, great. But can we be in the same world, just like different characters, like a spinoff almost from the movie?
Yeah, God forbid. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, because the film is being directed. The film's called Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. It's going to be directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. Yeah. That is coming out in March. Very excited for that movie. So the the show is not connected to that, which
Yeah.
makes me like, I'm excited, but I'm worried at the same time because I think it's gonna confuse people.
Yeah, but I think but that film is coming out in March. This thing is probably not coming out till next year or 2025.
That's true.
Right. I mean, if they just greenlit a series to order, it's going
Right.
to be a long time for them set up. Because Ross and Marshall is writing 2 sequels to Red Notice.
Yeah.
He's
He's
supposedly,
busy.
yeah, he's pitched a Voltron series to Netflix that might be getting to go here.
Like live action Voltron?
Yes, and
Whew.
now you're adding this Dungeons and Dragons series, which is great, and you're taking advantage of the fact that D&D has come back fully into the mainstream, and
Mhm.
people are loving it, and we'll see how that movie does. But
Mhm.
this
He's
is,
good.
Paramount Plus has been doing really great work here in a lot of their series. Whatever you feel about Discovery, it gets
Yeah.
views. Whatever you feel about Picard, a lot of people are ready for that Picard season 3, which is just 2 months away.
Mhm.
And Tulsa King just wrapped up, and I thought it was great. Then you've got 1923, 1883, Yellowstone, which is on Peacock, but still connected to the Paramount universe. Strange New
Mhm.
Worlds, which was fantastic. So there's a lot of stuff coming. The Beavis and Butthead movie did well. There's a lot of stuff
Yes.
coming through for Paramount Plus. So you can add this yet again to a nice resume of stuff that they've got.
Mhm.
The new Criminal Minds Evolution is fantastic. So they seem to be getting the right people involved in these things. And we'll see what the end result is of this. But I think it's going to be a while before we see anything or casting or any of that on it.
That's true.
Very
That's
curious. But I
true.
mean, D&D is such a big world. You wonder
Right.
somehow they might make a tenuous connection between the series and the movie. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else popped open here. Do we want to talk about Super Nintendo World? Here?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
let's
have
do
that
it.
as a link, so I switched it up in our show notes. If you take a look, I added
Okay,
the link for you.
great.
So the soft opening is happening right now for Super Nintendo World.
Right.
I think for a while they were doing pass. I think you have to be a pass holder still.
Yeah.
To Universal, but you can register for a time and a day to
Yes.
go and check out Super Nintendo as they're doing like technical rehearsals or soft openings or whatever you want to call it. So Attractions Magazine got to go, and they even said on their own Instagram, this was yesterday, as of noon yesterday, there was no wait to go in.
Really?
I'm sure that's changed now. I am sure it is
Right.
busy
Now
and
this been
crowded.
announced. Yeah. Yeah.
But and then I think that's why they were doing reservations. So it's not exactly the same as Japan. There's one ride missing that we have
Oh, okay.
that we don't have. So in Japan, they have the main attraction ride, which is the Mario Kart ride
Right.
that takes place inside Bowser's Castle. But Japan, they also have this like slower ride that's family friendly, all
Yeah.
ages. Um and it's the Yoshi ride, and it kind of goes around like the upper tier and outer parts of the castle
Yeah.
of Nintendo World. So it kind of gives you a nice overview of Nintendo Land from a different perspective, how you're higher up and you get to ride into Yoshi, which is super cute. So we don't have that right here.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna get it.
Okay.
But everything else is open. People can go on the ride, which is an AR ride. You can
Yeah.
go into Toad's Cafe and have food. Merchandising is open, as John is showing you guys right
Yeah.
now. That is the little Toad sippy cup. That is not the one I want. I want I want the star.
Okay.
It's the popcorn bucket, and it's $30 something.
Wow. Look at all
But it
this.
lights up and it holds your popcorn.
I'll take a Princess Peach cupcake. Absolutely.
Yes.
These are about what you'd expect, right? A
Yeah.
Mario mini burger, $15. The spaghetti marinara, 13
Mhm.
for the kids' meals. That's about what you'd expect.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. Look at that.
Yeah. It's so cute.
Wow. Okay.
It's so cute.
I don't know. I got some time this weekend. When are you? Oh, and this one. Here we go. Nice.
I don't have time this weekend.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But I do have time maybe on us. I don't want to see the thing is I don't want to go on a weekend.
Right. That's a good point. It's going to be crazy busy.
Yeah.
You're
I might
absolutely
just
right.
wait for the official media invite,
Yeah.
but that
When-
won't be I don't think that's going to be this month.
Well, I will say, I will announce, I am going to the friends and family showing of it next Thursday. One
Nice.
of the Geek Buddies, Shannon McClung, got me in. our fellow geek buddy Michael Vogel is supposed to be coming as well, and so is possibly Mike Kalinowski. So you're gonna get
Nice.
we're gonna shoot some videos, record some stuff, and experience it and all have some fun. So I will be in LA twice next week. One day I'm shooting something with a friend of mine that I don't want to announce until we put it up, and then the other one
I think I know what that is.
the other will be on Thursday, which will be a lot of fun for sure. So I can't wait to go and see it and see what we experience and all of that. So
Yeah, let me know what you think. Especially, I think it's going to be very interesting to hear your perspective because you haven't played the games.
Right.
Like, do you know the characters? You know Peach and Luigi and Mario?
Yes, I know Princess Peach, I know Luigi, I know Wario or Mario and Mario. Right. So I guess I'll have to watch some primers on YouTube to get me into what I need to know. But yeah, that'll be fine, and maybe I'll buy a game over the weekend. I'm sure they're not that expensive.
Oh my God, do it.
Now that it's been a while. So, but
wait, do you have a Nintendo?
I have oh no, I don't have a Switch. They don't have for the PS5? It's only for Nintendo?
No, it's a Nintendo game, man.
What is going on in the world, man? We landed on the moon. We should be able to make games for every system. For all right, I guess I'll get a Switch. Oh, Switch is so much, though. Oh, I know.
Get the OLED.
Get the OLED Switch? All right.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Maybe.
Do it.
We'll see.
Do it. Listen, the land is super it is small. So I don't think you'll have to spend too much time in there. The main attraction I think is the ride and then to check out the cafe for food. But if you want to interact with some of the environment around you, you can get a power band and download the app. And I don't know how much the power bands are. It's probably 25.
You love those power bands. You love those.
They're just you collect little digital coins. It's cute. If you're a Mario fan, I think if you're casual,
right,
then you have to really think about that. But
yeah,
it looks fun. There's a lot of fun merchandise, and I think a lot of the Nintendo fans are like, yes, finally.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And another bit of news that just dropped here, Wendy, as we were recording this, Snowpiercer, their final season, has been pulled from TNT. It was the last remaining original series on Warner Brothers Discovery, so this is again yet another casualty of what Warner Brothers Discovery is doing with all these canceling all these shows and pulling these shows that have already finished production. So it will not air on TNT despite the production being completed.
Wow.
Said, the network spokesperson said this was a difficult decision, but our admiration for the talented writers, actors, and crew who brought Snowpiercer's extraordinary post-apocalyptic world to life remains strong. We've been working collaboratively with the producers since last year to help the series find a new home where fans can continue to enjoy the compelling story and exceptional visual experience. We look forward to working with them on future projects. So it's not going to be on TNT, but since it's completed, it sounds like they're trying to shop it to another channel to put it up there. So we shall see. It was supposed to come out sometime later this year. So maybe it'll go somewhere because Minx went over to Stars, Chad went over to Roku. So it's
like the giant switch, so confusing, the biggest switcheroos ever.
Yeah,
we were here, but now we're here.
Yeah. AMC Plus has been canceling shows left and right as well. So it's just
what is happening?
Yeah, it's just a sad situation. And hearing about how that's going to affect residuals, affect people's money, I didn't even think about that. And that's another terrible.
Can SAG do something about that?
Please, SAG. You're funny, Wendy. I love you, but you're funny. SAG ain't gonna do shit.
But we pay dues. Well, you pay dues. I don't pay dues.
I haven't paid dues in 2 years. But yeah, they're not gonna do anything. SAG always rolls over for these companies, for God's sakes, and then tries to paint it like a victory for So no, I don't see it happening. Stardazing says, do you think Ezra is the one who remains in James Gunn's reboot of DC, or is everyone recast except Pattinson? Also, any updates on the Batman 2? I will say this. Apparently, Matt Reeves this came out on Twitter yesterday. Matt Reeves is supposed to meet with James Gunn, Peter Safran, and possibly David Zaslav next week to talk about the Batverse, his Batverse with Robert Pattinson. So what does that mean? That was
I'm into it.
Batverse. So we shall see what they're going to do with that. I don't think Ezra is the one who remains standing. I think for now they're standing behind Ezra because
they got a movie coming out.
Yeah. Once the Flash comes out and they see the reaction to it, I think then we're going to find we're going to see a concrete decision about Ezra one way or the other. Right now, the updates on Batman 2, Matt Reeves says he is knee deep in writing it, but hasn't, is nowhere near to a place to kind of talk about it at all. This was in a response to an interview question someone had for him the other day. And he said, knee deep in writing it, excited to see what we're going to have, or for people to see what we're going to have. But no way can I talk about it. So those are the updates. Anything you want to add to that, Wendy?
No, I think you covered it all. I really don't think that Ezra will be the one that remains in the DCU. It just doesn't make sense considering.
Yeah, it's a bad
look. Like you're gonna not keep Henry Cavill, who's literally not problematic, just building his PC, painting his minis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fair, Wendy. It's fair.
Yeah.
A lot of ladies liked him building a computer.
That was just cool to see, because it just I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know you were into that.
Yeah, probably some dudes too. Travis Earl says, how about the menu? Have either of you seen it yet? Is it great? Or it's great, is what Travis Earl says. Have you seen the menu yet, Wendy?
I have. Have you?
No, I'm going to see it. You know what? I've got a slot in to tomorrow or Sunday.
You didn't get a thingy?
Oh no, yeah, I do. I have it, and it's on HBO Max as well.
Oh, that's true.
But there's a window of time that I could probably watch it in, because I'm not going to watch one of the playoff games this weekend. So maybe I'll watch it there. Yeah,
I think you'll love it.
Yeah, I got a feeling. I'm trying to convince the lady, because she's a chef. I'm trying to convince the lady. We'll see.
She'll like it. I think she'll like it.
Please, I got to get her through the bear first, then maybe I can get her through menu.
Yes, chef.
All right, let's take one last break, and then we'll jump into our recommendations and what's coming soon here, film and television wise, right after this. All right, Wendy Lee, what do we got
coming soon? You got a bunch of stuff on your list, so why don't we kick it off with you?
Oh yeah, Alice Darling is coming next week. This is an interesting trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Anna Kendrick is playing a woman who's in a psychologically abusive relationship with a man. She goes away for the weekend with her girlfriends. One of the actresses is the actress from Loki. Oh God, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but she is she's the guard there that becomes allies with Loki. Wunmi Musaba, something like that.
I think so. I think you're on the right track.
I hope I'm right there, but she's fantastic. And so if you watch the trailer, it's pretty unsettling. And this is a rare role for Anna to play something this dramatic without even the quips or the comedy. It's pure dramatic film, and how her girlfriends deal with him coming up to join their weekend and what that means because of his controlling nature. So it looks awesome, and I hope it's going to be a good movie. Night Court starts in a few days. The return of one of my favorite 1980s shows, Melissa Rauch stepping in for Harry Anderson, who was the judge. She's playing his daughter. Harry, of course, passed away a few years ago, sadly. But John Larroquette is back to reprise his role as Dan Fielding there on the show. A bunch of other new actors involved in it. There have been some clips that released, some trailers. It doesn't look that great, but most of the reviews have been like, it's okay, it's fine. So that's coming if you're a big 1980s a person who likes to revisit those old ones. And then Mayor of Kingstown season 2 is coming up on Paramount Plus, as we talked about. Doing another great show on that streaming service. I enjoyed season 1. So great to see Jeremy Renner back. Of course, we're going to see him, sadly, all the stuff that's been happening for him lately, wishing him a speedy recovery, but it's going to be nice to see this season as well, because I liked season 1 a lot. So there you go. That's my stuff on coming soon for TV and film. What about you?
Nice. Alice Darling's also on my list, and another one coming very, very soon this Sunday is The Last of Us. Like, I'm so excited for that one. I'm gonna have to so my friend is taking me to the Critics' Choice Award with her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. It's my first time ever. I bought a dress. It's gonna be a fun time. But it ends at 7, and I don't know if there's something that's afterwards. And all I'm thinking about in my work brain is, how quickly can I get back, because it starts at 9.
That's the West Coast feed. The East Coast feed will be up at 6. It'll probably released on HBO Max at 6.
Yeah, but I won't be here because
I know you won't
start at 1 p.m. Yeah, so whatever. Awesome. It is what it is. It's that's the life of a YouTuber. You just stay up. You just don't sleep ever. You just don't sleep. You don't eat. You only drink coffee. That's what you do. That's what I do. So sad.
All right. Should we do a review of anything?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Go ahead, please.
So embargo actually has lifted. I literally got the email during this live stream
Nice.
for the movie Missing, which is a follow-up to Searching, but it's not a direct follow-up. It's kind of set in the same universe, using the same kind of premise and style that they shot the first one with John Cho, but this one stars Storm Reed and Nia Long. And I had the opportunity to go to the LA premiere last night. And I really expectation was high for this movie because it's the same directors and it's the same writers.
Yeah.
For the first one, I really enjoyed what they did with the first one. I was like, how can they make this unique and not just like a niche thing that it's found footage and through social media and different types of video recording devices. And I think they added so much more elements to this one that it's going to be a really, really fun watch for everybody.
Okay.
So highly enjoy it. It comes out on January 20th. And if you haven't seen Searching and you're worried about like, oh, but I don't know, you don't have to worry. You don't need to see Searching in order to understand Missing. But I feel like you'll want to see Searching after you saw Missing. So
yeah, this is there's Storm Reed and there's Nia Long, clips from the movie. Yeah, this looks so interesting. And Storm Reed really coming on as an actress. I interviewed her for Invisible Man 3 years ago. Very just so composed at such a young age, so intelligent, so knowledgeable of what's going on in the world. So so how can I say this? So involved in these social causes and everything. So not only is she incredibly talented, she's smart as hell and conscientious about her world. So I'm nothing but a huge fan of hers and championing everything she does. And it's great to see Nia Long coming in and showing up on all these, seeing the trailer for You People and then seeing her in this. So it's going to be a nice January month of Nia Long stuff that we're going to get to enjoy.
She mentioned something in the Q&A they had yesterday, and I don't remember exactly what she said because we didn't so it was at the Alamo Draft House, so it's like individual because the theaters are smaller and intimate, right?
Yeah.
So like nobody knew that the Q&A was coming on, and it came on kind of like suddenly, but the music was kind of still playing over it in our theater. So I was like trying to hear what she was saying, and I believe that she said this was one of the hardest movies that she's made.
Wow.
I think that and she had a really great experience with it, but it's a very different type of filmmaking than what she's used to because it's not the regular camera setup.
Right.
It's not like, so you have to kind of be aware of where you think the camera is and it's going to capture you the way it's going to capture you.
Yeah.
And she was just singing Storm Reed's praises and I was like, oh. And she straight up let just carry the entire movie on her shoulders. Storm Reed was great.
Great.
Okay,
what else have we got? Are you recommending?
Recommendations. It's a K-drama. What else am I watching? There's a show called Little Women, which has nothing to do with the novel.
Okay.
That we know of. It's because that's what I thought going in. I was like, oh, it's a Korean K-drama adaptation of Little Women, which would have been so interesting to see. But it does center around a family of 3 sisters. But there was a huge controversy and heist involving money that they involuntarily got themselves mixed in. And now they have to try to figure out how to do that and still survive as a family and how to move forward. And do they keep the money? Do they not keep the money? It's a whole thing. And just, it's pretty intense. And I'm really liking it.
Yeah, fair enough. As far as reviews, real quick, A Man Called Otto comes out more wide this weekend. So if you haven't seen it, it might be where some of you all are watching us right now, coming out finally in the theaters near you. Can't recommend it enough. Honestly, Tom Hanks is fantastic in the movie. The entire cast is great. And it's such a sweet movie to start 2023 with. I cannot encourage you all enough to go see it. Please go see it. Have some fun. 'Cause I don't think it's going to make a lot of money. So try and put some money into their coffers because movies like this are a nice change of pace from the other more depressing movies or the other big high stakes CGI movies, which are all great to have. Just it's nice to have these kind of smaller movies as well that speak to the human journey and the human experience. And I really enjoyed that. Also with a light touch, so I enjoyed that too. And Hunters season 2 comes out tonight. It's out now, I guess, on Hulu or on Amazon Prime Video rather. It is even better than the first season. For those of you who saw season 1 of Hunters, I watched all of season 2 in 2 days last week, and it is incredible. Everything they teased at the end of the first season comes to fruition in the second season in ways that you can't even anticipate or expect. And it's so well done. The acting here, Logan Lerman is next level. His performances here. Great to see Pacino back. Lena Olin, who's a great actress that people remember from the 90s and other projects that she, through the decades here. Great to see her take center stage as well. But the entire team and the twists and turns, and a new actress coming in who's been around for a bit. She really commands the season for a majority of the season. So just giving a lot of love here to Hunter season 2. If you enjoyed season 1, trust me, it is better than season 1, which is saying something because I loved season 1. Also out now, Will Trent. If you guys haven't started Will Trent's Please Do on ABC, Ramon Martinez leading the way in that show. Erica Christensen, a part of that show as well. The actress who played Kima in The Wire, she is there as his boss. Really interesting ABC procedural show. And you have Zach from Saved by the Bell in the first 2 episodes as a dad who you don't know might be or might not be involved in the murder of his daughter. And the other thing, the other guilty pleasures on Hulu right now, we sped through the 6 episodes of Hoarder House Flippers. If you are strangely attracted to hoarders, this is a fascinating show because they follow 3 couples who flip houses that they have bought that are hoarder houses. And you see all the dirt and the mess and the grime and the stacks of food and cat feces and dead rats and all this. And they pull all of it out and kind of redo the whole houses and sell them. And it's just fascinating to watch. 6 episodes, sped through them. So good. So those are my recommendations.
Hoarders gives me anxiety.
Of course it does. Me too, which is why I watch it. I watch curled up on the couch.
So you don't hoard?
Yeah. Well, I hate hoard. Oh my God. No, I'm always in the garage going, what can we get rid of? What can we get rid of? So
yeah,
I hate to hoard. It's because I used to be a hoarder. And so I am always deathly afraid of falling back into that. So
those cases are like extreme though.
Yes.
Like living on top of trash and that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, never.
Also, that they no, but I feel like we tend to hold on to things like for sentimental value.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
And they just you can't get rid of it.
For me, I used to keep everything in like 7 or 8 black garbage bags in a closet. That's how I used to. Yeah, that's how I used to. Before my ex, the one that we talk about that was terrible. Like she's the one that made me kind of pull everything out, organize everything, and finally get rid of some stuff. So it broke the cycle. Yeah, it kind of broke the cycle, and so I've made it very clear in our house.
Never again.
Never again.
No. I can't see a lady outlaw standing for that. Anyways.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God.
She'd be like, she's like, if you don't get rid of it in 5 minutes, I'll do it for you.
Yeah. If anything's left on the kitchen table, dining room table, which is where she set up her office because she works from home, she's always like, you've got about another maybe 6 hours before this is gone somewhere. So just letting you know. So she's very clear about no.
You know what one of my friends used to do was if she saw left out like dishes and glasses that are not in the sink, she will go and put all of those in front of her husband's office door. And he works with the door closed.
Oh my God.
Anytime he opens it, it's there.
That's inappropriate.
And he learned real quick, can't do that. It happened twice and then he was done. He was like, I can't do this. He's like, I am such a mess.
That's Wendy, that's inappropriate to stack those dishes that way, to mess with a guy like that.
But you learn.
Oh no, you learn. Oh, you learned real quick.
The real loud clink on tile floor.
No thanks. No thanks. All right. Anything else we need to go over, Wendy? Or are we good?
I think we're good, man.
Okay.
This was a fun one.
Yeah, I agreed. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the John and Wendy Show. We appreciate you all hanging out with us on Friday all the time. And more than anything else, please remember to subscribe to this channel. As I've said, my goal is to double my subscribers by the end of the year. Somehow get to 50,000 subscribers by December 31st of 2023. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Countdown goal is on.
I'm going to try everything possible to make that happen. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate y'all subscribing down below, hitting the like as well. Wendy, another fun show. Please tell people where they can find you and all you got going on.
50 million things going on over at the Movie Couple channels. Too fast for me to even, edit quickly enough. But we've got reactions coming for The Last of Us, currently watching The Bad Batch. The Legend of Vox Machina Season 2 will be coming out soon. And we have a review that I'll post after this live stream is over, which is going to be Missing, non-spoiler. So you guys can check that out even if you haven't seen the movie. We don't spoil anything. Come on back next week to see what other K-pop news we get to talk about on this channel.
Absolutely. We did have one more super chat. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Wiley. He said, support from a man, Rocha. Excited for the Cinephiles episode today. That's right. Yeah, I should plug that as I'm saying goodbye here. Thank you all so much. Please remember to follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. I will be watching 4 of the playoff games this weekend, so I will be doing live streaming. I don't know if it'll be on my YouTube channel, the Game Time Sports channel, or on Twitch, but we shall see. But it will be happening this weekend. And I'm sure my girlfriend's going to be very happy to have me out of the main area of the house while I do that here in the office. But yes, today on the Cinephiles, we dropped part 1 of our deep dive into Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that 1980s classic from John Hughes. So please, if you haven't listened to the Cinephiles before, we are a fun podcast that just dives into the world of film. Me and my director friend Steve Morris just jump into there and have fun discussing it. And coming up in a couple of weeks, we'll be launching our season of Quentin Tarantino. We're already interviewing people about their thoughts on Tarantino to compile a nice mini documentary about him. And then we're going to jump into some of his movies and discuss all those as well. So come aboard the Cinephiles train if you'd like to. We would love to have you. All right. Anything else? Wendy, are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right.
Happy Friday, guys.
Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode here of the John and Wendy Show. Peace.